Hi, my name is Elizabeth Winkle, and today I'm going to be talking to you about generalized anxiety disorder, or commonly known as GAD. Did you know that over 6.8 million adults, or 3.1% of the US population, are currently diagnosed with GAD? Yet, only 43.2% of these people are currently receiving treatment. This fact from the Anxiety and Depression Association of America is startling but true. GAD is a common disorder that affects many people. Consider these following anxiety-related questions. Do you wake up in the morning already worried about the day to come? And you find yourself staying up at night worrying about what you could have done wrong today? These feelings of anxiety are a normal human reaction to stress. But if you find that your anxiety starts to interfere with your day-to-day life, you could be suffering from GAD. Trust me, I know how it feels to be anxious all the time, and I know the impact that GAD can have on your day-to-day life. Because I've personally experienced this disorder, I want to share with you the important information regarding this topic. Taking the time to learn more about GAD is an important step to take in furthering your own knowledge and gaining new information. To start off, I'm going to be discussing 4 main topics today with you regarding GAD. The first is the definition, the second is the symptoms, the third is a common treatment for these symptoms, and fourth and lastly, I'll be talking to you about the application of this information to your day-to-day life. So first, to start off, the definition of GAD. Generalized anxiety disorder is of course an anxiety disorder, and tends to be one of the more common ones that people find themselves facing. In fact, a 2019 survey by the National Center for Health Statistics showed that over 15% of people surveyed had experienced feelings of anxiety within the past 2 weeks. In fact, over 5% of these people experience feelings of moderate to severe anxiety, which tends to be characteristic of GAD. Some other things that tend to be characteristic of GAD are things like persistent anxiety and turmoil. Your anxiety starts to interfere with your day-to-day life. It makes tasks that used to seem easy and simple almost impossible. Things like talking on the phone or even just going out in public tend to be very hard for people with GAD. GAD also can have a variety of causes, but to you it may seem like there's no apparent cause for your anxiety. GAD can also express itself in a variety of symptoms, which leads me to my second topic, the common symptoms of GAD. To start off, it's important to know that symptoms of GAD tend to fall into 2 main categories. The first being more mental symptoms, and the second being more physical symptoms. To start off with the more mental symptoms, things like overthinking, indecisiveness, persistent worrying, anxiety, and nervousness are all common mental symptoms of GAD. Some of the more common physical symptoms of GAD are things like sweating, shaking, feeling a pit in the stomach, headaches, having trouble falling asleep, feeling angry. Things like that are very common physical symptoms of GAD. Here are some pictures that help illustrate these symptoms better. The symptoms of GAD may seem impossible to manage, and you may feel like there's no treatment, but there's actually a wide variety of treatments for GAD, which leads me to my third topic of the day, which is the treatments for GAD. To start off, I'll be talking about 3 treatments today. The first is psychotherapy, second are the medications, and third is self-wellness. To start off with psychotherapy, the main type of therapy used is CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy. This type of therapy focuses on addressing negative thoughts, behaviors, and feelings. You'll talk about why these behaviors are so harmful for you and work on ways to lessen the negative impact of these behaviors on you and your anxiety. This type of therapy tends to have more short-term effects, but can be very helpful for many people. The next treatment is medications. The type of medication used to treat anxiety tends to be antidepressants. SSRIs and SNRIs are some of the more common antidepressants used to treat anxiety. Some names you might be familiar with are things like Zoloft, Lexapro, and Prozac. Medication can have a varying level of effectiveness depending on you as a person and the severity of your symptoms. The last treatment for anxiety is self-wellness. Things like drinking tea, or even doing yoga, are simple steps that you can take to help lessen your own anxiety. Some other things you can do is listen to music, eat healthy, go on a walk, or even read a book. All the treatments I talked about today can have a varying level of effectiveness depending on you as a person. So it's important to try them all out to see which works best for you. Now, you may be wondering, now that I know this information, what should I do with it? This leads me to my fourth and final point of the speech, which is the application of this information to your day-to-day life. To start off, the first and maybe most important thing you can do is help work to end the stigma regarding mental health. Once you know the facts regarding GAD, a mental health disorder, it's easy to spot misinformation in your day-to-day life. Once you know the facts, it's easy to correct people on their misinformation and work just to end the stigma regarding this mental health topic. The second thing you can do is spot the signs of anxiety in friends and loved ones. Once you know the symptoms, it's easy to spot them in others and make sure that they get the help that they might need. The last thing you can do is just overall gain a new perspective and learn more. Once you've taken the time to learn more about this mental health disorder, it's easy to just gain a new perspective and also just change your worldview and consider what others with mental health disorders, especially anxiety, are going through. So as I said earlier, GAD and anxiety in general is very common. It affects over 6.8 million adults in America alone. Taking the time to learn more about GAD is an important step to take in furthering your own knowledge. Before I go, I want you to remember the 4 main points that I talked about today. The first is the definition of GAD, which is persistent feelings of anxiety and turmoil in your day-to-day life. The second is the common symptoms, the mental and physical, things like worrying and anxiety and stomach aches and sweating. The third is the common treatments, therapy, medication, and self-wellness. The fourth is the application of this information into your day-to-day life. Thank you for watching my speech. I hope you learned more and just gained a new perspective overall. Remember, anxiety affects many people worldwide. No matter who you are, GAD and anxiety in general can have an impact on your life. So it's important to stay informed and up to date on this important mental health topic.